G'day guys, welcome to our layout. This one was getting created at 4 a.m. So let's see how this one, I actually love this layout. I'm not even going to string these along. I love how this one turned out. Now hang on, I've lost my spot. There I am. Okay, so I am doing a layout. I had this idea in my head that I wanted to do Christmas presents, okay? So I pulled out some stencils. Now, these stencils are not Christmas. Do we agree on that? Absolutely. I've pulled out two Lunar Pastes. One is called Slippery When Wet. That's the gold one. Slippery When Wet is the silver one. Gold Rush is the gold one. So gold and silver go really, really well together. I know it's sort of controversial. It's a bit like the red and pink thing, but the gold and silver together looks so cool. Up close, it looks really good. So I pulled out a stack of different stencils and I thought, what am I going to do with them? I don't know. I was just, at this point, I wanted to use my plain cardstock with some mixed media to see what I could come up with. I don't end up using this piece here that I made. I didn't throw it out. I've still got it, but I put the Nuvo Glacier Paste in Winter White. I put it through the stencil thinking, maybe that'll work. So this one is a different gold. This one is called, let me think. I'm trying to think of what that one's called. Don't worry, they're right next to me. It is called, so I used Gold Rush, Psych. Is that one Psych? Oh, geez. Now I'm confused. No. Slippery When Wet. Yeah, I used Slippery When Wet and I used Gold Rush and I used Silver Lining. I didn't write Silver Lining. Oh, there it is. I just can't read. Ignore me. What would I know? I just wrote it yesterday, but what would I know? So, bear with me guys, bear with me. It's only 9:15 in the morning. So I'm going around so I've put those shimmer pastes down, right? Lunar Pastes. Now I'm going around just with white textured cardstock. This is, white. Can I just start again? Let's just start again. Right. That is TCW Light and Fluffy Modeling Paste. I've put it through a simple generic stencil. I've used it a few times. I actually really like it as a Christmassy sort of looking. It's not snowflakes. It's not anything in between. It's just, so these guys have dried now. Okay. So they've dried. It's all good. That one there, I don't end up using, but come in here with my Tim Holtz 9-inch shears. And I love those scissors because you can get really good straight cuts with them. And it's something, if you're struggling to get cut straight, big tip, use larger scissors. Use longer scissors. The longer the blades are, the easier it is to cut straight. Each cut goes exactly where you want it to go. And it really does make a big difference. I did pull out my personal trimmer. This is my Creative Memories one. I've had it for a gazillion years, actually about 20 to be completely honest. And I'm just cutting random sized squares and rectangles is all I'm doing. Now, you know how I said to you that those stencils I use, they're not Christmassy. So there's no holly, there's no candy canes on them. There's nothing like that. They're just generic ones. So they're ones that you can pull in. If you get stencils like this in your stash, then the more of your collection that you build up of generic things like this is where you can switch them out. So I want to create Christmas presents, right? So what I'm doing is I've created texture using the Lunar Paste through the stencil. It's metallic, ticks all the boxes, right? Not only does it tick all the boxes, but it looks kind of like patterns of Christmas paper because you've got that foiled look. Now, I'm doing it on a white background so that it pops, like obviously Christmas papers are silver or or blue or purple or red or green or whatever. I wanted to keep it simple so that the next step really stands out. Now, I'm just going around and trimming. I left the white edges on there thinking that I might want them, but as I started cutting these out, I was like, nah, I don't want them. So you can see my giant big pile of bits there. I just went around and cut those off. Now, I'm literally wanting to, these photos I'm scrapping are just the girls being silly. And because that's what I like to scrap. I like to scrap the everyday. When the kids are being silly, after school, before gymnastics, after gymnastics, you know, before football, you know, just pick your poison, right? The kids grab my phone and they take photos, and they know that I love them doing that because it gives me something to scrap. Not only all the photos that I've planned to scrap, but I then get these incidental ones chucked in, which is great. So especially, and I really like it when it's a seasonal thing like Christmas and they've used filters and they're like for Christmas or for Easter or something like that. Works a treat. Now, I pulled out of my collection of ribbons, I pulled out a red, a gold, and it's a white. It is white. You can see that it's white when I'm finished with it. Now I'm going along and just putting a strip of tear tape down the center of the back of the presents. And now I leave this in here to show you how hard this actually is to do it this way. But I do change how I do it. But I left this bit in to show you what I was doing. So I was, as you can see, I was wrapping it like a traditional present. This was way too fiddly. Way too fiddly. Do not do it like this. You will give up if you try and do it like this. This video would have ended up being 7 hours if I was doing it like that. It looks really cute, but I endeavored to try doing it again with this one, and it didn't work, right? So I took that one off. You can see that I've got, so I'm still trying here to do it how you would traditionally put ribbon around a present, but it doesn't work. Don't do it like this. So I do slide it underneath to then hold it nice and tight. Remember, you've got the tape on the back. So the tape on the back is going to give you, don't mind me, I've obviously received a message there. Actually, that was Taylor messaging. It was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But I will wait. I'll ask her if I can share it before I do. But it was something really funny at work. She did it to herself, so it's a little bit funny. I absolutely laughed. I belly laughed. It was so funny. Now, that looks really cute, right? Super cute present, but that was just way too hard. Like 3 presents, and I think this had already taken me half an hour, which is insane. Absolutely insane to take that long to do this. No one's going to stick with it that long. So I tied that one, and that's when I stopped and went, I need to rethink how I'm doing this. So I've slowed this down. This is in real time. Okay, this is how slow I really scrap. Now, I think this bit's too small. I'm trying to make sure I've got the right side. These ribbons, there's a shiny side and a nice but still slightly dull side. So this is where I realised, you know what? If I just go like that, and then if I just go like this, trim it, and then go the other way. If you don't have ribbon, you could use cardstock for this. You could use cardstock. You could just draw it with pens. You could quite easily. How much easier was that? I mean, come on. Were you all screaming down were you screaming at the video at me? Because believe me, I was, when I realized what I was doing here. So you can see I've made a stack of bows. I just sat there and made some bows up. And I'm just adding them to the present once I've got the little ribbon going around the present. So much easier. Trust me, do it like that. Don't do it how I started off doing it because it's too hard. So I ended up doing all my presents like this. I did use a glue dot Now, the glue dots that I have are about a gazillion years old, but they're still the stickiest dots on the planet. So I use those to glue my buttons on. And when I'm finished at the end of the layout, I actually do go along with some art glitter glue just under the buttons, under the bows again, because just to make sure that there's a lot of adhesive on it and they're not going to come undone. And yeah, so that totally worked for me. Now, I'm just adding to these little presents, and I don't make you watch me do all of these. Believe me, that would be incredibly boring. So what else can I tell you that I've used on this layout? So I've just used some random stencils. Those stencils are so old it's not even funny. You could tell because of the paint that was all over them. The Lunar Pastes, I used Silver Lining, Slippery When Wet, and Gold Rush. And I did use the Nouveau Glacier paste, but I didn't actually end up using it on the layout. So you did see it in the video, but I didn't end up using it. The Crafters Workshop Light and Fluffy Modelling Paste, which is fantastic. That stuff is ride or die. I love that stuff. It is so, so good. And let me think. What else did I use? Distress Oxide ink. I used that on the edges of my presents just to give them kind of, it sort of makes it look like there's a bit of a shadow there. So it makes the presents look like they're a little bit lifted off the page. There's a, more three-dimensional feeling. The ribbons that I used the red, the gold, and the white. And I bought those from, they were from the $2 shop down the road here. They were, at the end of the season, keep your eyes peeled for ribbons and stuff like that that are going cheap. That's when I would grab mine, and they cost me like 30 cents for a roll and 50 cents for a roll. So that's why when I'm snipping and wasting all that ribbon, believe me, I've got a larger than a shoebox full of ribbons, and I hardly ever pull them out because I always think I papercraft. I use mixed media, but I papercraft. I always forget about the ribbons. I don't know why. Do you do that? What's the one supply that you forget to use? Write it in the comments below. Let me know. What do you forget to use? And if I get enough comments, I will endeavour in January to use the items that you're saying that you don't use enough of, or that you've got surplus of. I will endeavour to use them in some videos to give you an idea to use some of it up. So just pop it in the comments below, the thing that you don't use much of. Now, I did back that with the CARTA Paper Co. Home for Christmas 6x6 collection. That's a paper pad that I absolutely love. I went to town last year, I think it was, and I bought a few of these CARTA papers. Until, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really have CARTA on my radar very much at all until I started shopping with Crazy Craft Obsession, and they had some Echo Park CARTA, all that sort of stuff, and I grabbed some and I loved it. Now this is my homemade mica spray, and I've got the recipe for that over on my Facebook group. Just click the link in the description and it will take you straight over there, and it is pinned at the very top. I will be bringing you some more information in regards to the paints, the paint pots, the sprays, all that sort of stuff. I've been doing lots and lots of work in the background. I'm like a duck swimming here, trying to stay above water. So I'm bringing you lots and lots of content, but I'm also working on some stuff in the background as well. So hopefully in 2024, I'll be able to have worked out a lot of the kinks, and I should be able to, stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. Especially all my Aussie peeps. All my Aussies, all my Kiwis. Stay tuned. Obviously, everybody I want to stay tuned, but yeah. So I'm working on it. Now, this is where I didn't think before I stuck these down. So I put them down, and all I'm really doing is gluing down the presents, I just wanted to make it sort of look like there was just all presents exploding and going up the walls. That's kind of what I was running with. And I put all these presents down, and I knew that I wanted them to go off the edge so that I would trim them and it would be all good. But I didn't take into consideration the ribbon. So if you do this, be mindful of just put a corner over the edge. Don't take it so far that your actual ribbon is going off the edge, because it gets a little fiddly. I do show you how I fix it, but it got a little bit fiddly for a bit there. And make sure you're using really, really sharp scissors if you do have to cut the ribbon, because otherwise, you know, I did end up buying the 5-inch scissors. I did end up picking them up the other day. They were on sale. And I went, oh, I'm going to grab those real quick. So I do have all 3 of the Tim Holtz scissors now. The 5-inch ones, I like them, but they're definitely not my fussy cutting choice. So I thought I would like them for fussy cutting a little bit more than the small ones, but nah, I prefer the little tiny ones for fussy cutting. There you go. You can see all 3 of them. Mama bear, daddy bear, and baby bear. So I absolutely love them. Now, this is where I'm trimming my presents, and I realise, uh-oh. So I had to cut the ribbon, and then I had to put a heap of glue in the edge and stick the ribbon into the glue. And I did fix it, and it worked, but yeesh. Now, this is where I use the Gold Rush and the Silver Lining Lunar Pastes on my title. And I mixed them together, loved it. But this, I've never used this font before on my Cricut. And because I had to make it a little bit, I wanted it to be a little bit smaller. It did not cut well. It was too fine. So when you're using Cricut Design Space, be mindful of the things that are, you know, all the decorative scripty stuff. It's wonderful and it's great if you're using a pen, not a problem. But when you're cutting it like this, it was a bit too, I wasn't a fan. It was really, really difficult to get it to lift out properly. It was just horrible. So I persevered, but this particular font, I won't use it again. That's just a learning curve for me. You might as well learn from me, because, you know, saves your cardstock. It's very difficult. So this particular font, I cut it at 5 inches, and it just was all the fine swirly bits were too fine. But I think it looks okay in the end, but it wouldn't be my choice to do that one again. So that is me just about done, guys. I'm about to put my layout all together. And see, it needed to be a small title to fit up there, but it needed to be bold to balance the presents. So hence I put the black on the background. Now, I'm going to do my shameless plug for you guys. Facebook, Instagram, it's in the description below. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment, all that sort of fun stuff. And on the flip side of that, I also have a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description in case anyone would like to support me by support me by buying me a coffee. And by doing that, it gives me a little bit of money to be able to purchase new supplies to use in 2024. So these are all my prezzies. Don't they look cute? They turned out so cute. And like I said, do the bows the way I did it at the end, not at the beginning, and you will have much more success. Let me know if this is something you're going to give a try. Maybe not so many presents, maybe more presents. I'm not sure. Let me know. See how it's not quite, see the G? Yeah, not a fan. That's okay. We live and we learn. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll chat to you soon. Bye for now.